Hi everyone, my name is Alvaro and I'm currently taking my 5th semester here in Alexander College. So nice to meeting you today.
Hey, I am Kusampreet Singh. It's my 5th semester at Alexander College. I like to spend time in the nature and I have a very good experience at this college, and nice to meet you.
Hello, my name is Anna Hipman. I'm a biology instructor here for 3 years now. Time flies while you're having fun, and it's great to be here. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Spielman. I'm also a biology instructor here at Alexander College, and I've been working here for a little over 4 years.
Okay, what are some things that the students will learn in your classes, like concepts or topics?
We cover everything. We try to give a baseline, some input on. We start with atoms to give a little bit of a chemistry background, and then we go over to biomolecules and the cell, but also inheritance. We touch up on biotechnology and end up with a big picture and ecology. So it gives a nice foundation, I would say, to everything that you can see, oh, maybe I'm more interested in this or more in that, and to give you a first understanding, I would say, of the natural world.
And then if you take some of our other courses, you can get a little bit of a different flavor for what's going on in biology, the living world. So our anatomy and physiology classes, for example, biology 110 and 120, you learn all about the living world within you and some really cool things. So for example, your heart is constantly beating throughout your lifetime, and within a single day, your heart will pump about 6,000 to 7,000 liters of blood around your body because it's constantly circulating. And that's approximately the size of an Olympic pool being pumped through your body every day. And your blood is carrying nutrients and oxygen and hormones and signaling molecules that do a whole bunch of other cool things. So if you take anatomy and physiology, you get a little bit more of the human biology side of things.
I want to ask that how the day look like when the students take your classes.
So usually a little bit of a welcome and a recap of what we have previously been going over. And a lot of the biology instructors like the students to lead the recap. So we really know that you're getting something out of the courses and understanding the material. Sometimes we have lectures where there's fun animations and we bring in real life examples that relates to biology, the living world. But then sometimes we totally switch it up and we just do a tiny bit of lecturing, and then the students get to do activities where they can explore things related to genetics and inheritance. And especially when it comes to the lab periods, we don't really do a lot of talking at all. The students get to explore things all on their own.
So what I always tell my students, I hope once we're all back in the face-to-face environment, you might be able in the hallway to say, hey, look, that's so-and-so, I took Bio 100 with Anna, or so that you can say hi to each other once we are finally back together, right? So I have the videos on for attendance, and then we go over review, then content, and then every kind of 10 to 15 minutes I try to have some kind of activity to see if the students understood the content that we covered or the concepts with, as Lindsay said, some real life applications or scenarios. We love scenarios to give you a scenario and then, okay, so based on this, what would you do now?
Are there any do's or don'ts while the students are taking your class? Something that we should avoid to do or something?
So do's, do come. Do come to class, do participate. I think that is one thing that we're all very, very keen on. We do not like to hear us talk all the time. We get a sore throat really easily. So we would like to hear you talk as well. Ask questions. Do try to solve those problem sets that we give. And
the only other kind of caution I would give is don't fall behind in the material, because it can get really easy to kind of get lost. The way the lectures and courses are structured in biology, it builds one topic on the next. So if you miss something, please try to catch up. Otherwise, it'll be really hard for the rest of the semester. And if you're struggling, yeah, just ask, because we all love our job. We love being instructors, and we're more than happy to help you out if you're struggling. So just give a shout out, send an email, or pop by our office hours if you need a little bit of extra help, and we'll be happy to guide you.
I want to ask, like, what are the potential job careers by taking your courses, like especially like you are just teaching the biology, so what are the majors in the further future?
Yes, there are loads of opportunities out there, and I know from students that were here at Alexander College and they went on to whether McGill in Toronto, we have some here at UBC, at SFU, and some proceeding into more computer science, others in biochemistry. So there are loads of students that came before you that are actually going into biology, into all these different highly interesting areas. There's lots out there.
In terms of some of the other career opportunities, research science is huge, and finally there's getting better funding in Canada for research science due to the global pandemic. And so, for example, all of the scientists who are working on discovering transmission rates of COVID-19 and what are some better options for vaccines, they're all research scientists. They all have a biology background.
Yeah, for example, I'm not a science person, right? So I was a little bit scared because it doesn't matter the plan or the degree that you're taking, you have to take some science courses, right? So I was a little bit scared and afraid to pick the incorrect one and something that I would probably fail. So how would you recommend, for example, to take biology, or what should we do in that case? Like,
we do offer a number of different first-year biology students, and this is actually a concern or something that's brought up by a lot of students on day one. So we do have classes that are specifically tailored to be helpful for students who don't have a science background. So our two classes or courses, that are most specific for students without a science background are Biology 100 and Biology 105. So there we start with the most basics, and we do build up. There's still a lot of content, but we go in with the expectations that students really have no idea about any of the biology concepts when we start out talking. So it's kind of approached in a little bit of a different way to help students who find science challenging, or it's just been a bit of time since they've gone over any science concepts.
Do you feel any difference, especially during in-person classes, in teaching international students and, on the other hand, domestic students?
The only thing I would say is that I do change the instruction a tiny bit, but only because at Alexander College, compared to other places I've taught, English isn't always the first language of my students at Alexander College. So one of the things that I'll do is I'll just highlight certain terminology differently than I would if I had a class full of domestic students, just to ask, okay, do you understand this term? Let's break it down, just so that I'm not talking and losing my students as I go, just with the understanding that not everybody is a native English speaker. And in 2019, I think it was, pre-pandemic, I went to the Diwali event that the school put on, and it was amazing. The students were so welcoming. I got to dance on the dance floor with my students, and when I left, my heart was so full. I felt so included, and I actually sat in my car and cried because I was just overwhelmed with being involved in such a beautiful event, and I felt like I really shared this special experience with my students.
Okay, thank you so much for coming today and chat with us and telling us a little bit more about biology and why should we take that. I really appreciate it. It was so amazing. So thank you so much.
It was a great time with you all, and thanks a lot for this.
No, thank you so much for showing interest in biology, and maybe see you in class someday.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and ask us some questions, and hopefully you found it a little bit helpful. It was a pleasure to be here with you all today.
Thank you.
Much.
Bye.
Bye.